What if I told you that the story of Noah's flood, the one we all know from the Bible, existed thousands of years before the Bible was even written?
170 years ago, a Victorian archaeologist named George Smith made a discovery so shocking, he reportedly tore off his clothes in excitement. He just translated a 4,000-year-old Sumerian tablet, and it told a story nearly identical to Noah's flood. This revelation caused a sensation, making headlines in London newspapers and shaking the world of archaeology. This wasn't a coincidence. This was proof that myths, stories we dismiss as ancient or fairy tales, are far more than entertainment. They're mirrors reflecting humanity's deepest fears, hopes, and questions.
Today, we're diving into a mystery that spans continents and millennia. Why do the same stories appear in every culture? How do myths evolve into religions? And what do they reveal about us, our minds, our societies, and the collective psyche that binds humanity together? This isn't just about ancient history. It's about understanding why we're still obsessed with superheroes, why religion shapes civilizations, and why Jung believed myths live inside all of us. So let's unravel the secrets hidden in humanity's oldest stories. The tablet Smith discovered was part of the Epic of Gilgamesh, the oldest written story in human history. Carved into clay over 4,000 years ago in ancient Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, it follows Gilgamesh, a king obsessed with immortality. But here's the twist. Buried within this epic is a flood story so similar to Noah's, it predates the Bible, Torah, and Quran by millennia. Let's unravel what Gilgamesh's flood tells us about the birth of storytelling itself.
Utnapishtim, one of the gods, spoke to Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh, I will tell you a secret. The gods have decided to unleash a great storm upon the earth. Build a wooden house on the banks of the Euphrates River, a boat sturdy enough to withstand the flood. Fill it with every kind of animal, seed, plant, and living creature, both small and large. Gilgamesh obeyed. He built the ship and gathered his family, his clan, and pairs of every animal on board. When morning came, dark clouds filled the sky. Lightning pierced the darkness, and the winds howled as the waters rose. The storm raged for 6 days and 6 nights, flooding the earth. On the 7th day, the storm finally subsided. To see if the waters had receded, Gilgamesh sent a dove into the sky. The dove flew but found no place to rest and returned to the boat. Next, he sent a raven. This time, the raven flew away and did not return, a sign that the waters had receded and the earth was habitable once more.
After reading the story of Gilgamesh, you might wonder, did the ancient Jews adapt Sumerian writings, replacing the hero Gilgamesh with Noah? Both figures share striking similarities. Noah and Gilgamesh live extraordinarily long lives, and both seek immortality. This pattern isn't unique to the Bible. Similar flood stories appear in the Avesta, where Ahura Mazda warns Jamshid, and in myths from China, India, and beyond. But the story of Gilgamesh itself has older roots. Researchers believe it was inspired by an even earlier tale called When the Gods Were Humans. This ancient narrative begins with creation and leads up to the flood.
According to the tablets, the gods initially lived as humans, burdened with hard labor. They divided tasks among themselves. One was given the earth, another the sea, and others were tasked with creating rivers and paths for water. Over time, the gods grew weary of their toil and rebelled. To solve the problem, they decided to create humans from clay. One god even suggested killing another to mix divine flesh and blood into humanity. After 1,200 years, humans were created. But humanity's noise soon became a problem. One god, unable to sleep, unleashed plague and famine. To end the suffering, another god advised humans to build a temple. Peace returned, but when the noise resumed, the sleepless god sent a flood to wipe out humanity. However, one compassionate god warned a human to build an ark, ensuring the survival of the human race.
This story predates Gilgamesh and served as its inspiration. Over time, myths like these evolved, becoming more detailed and structured. For example, in the Torah, the flood story is expanded with specifics, like the exact dimensions of Noah's Ark and the names of his wife and children. This shows how myths grow richer and more elaborate as they are retold across generations. Two of the most influential thinkers in the study of myth symbols and religion are Carl Jung and Joseph Campbell. Carl Jung, the founder of analytical psychology, and Joseph Campbell, a prominent mythologist and writer. Both explored how myths and religions share common patterns across cultures and civilizations. Have you ever wondered why myths from totally different cultures seem to tell the same kinds of stories? Carl Jung had an answer for that, something he called the collective unconscious. Unlike our personal unconscious, which holds our own memories and experiences, the collective unconscious is something we all share. It's a kind of universal memory bank filled with symbols, patterns, and deep-seated knowledge that shape how we think, dream, and tell stories. At the heart of this are archetypes, universal characters and themes like the hero, the mother figure, or the trickster. These aren't just random ideas, they appear in myths, religions, and art across every culture. Take Gilgamesh, for example. His quest for immortality is one of the oldest hero's journeys we know, but we see the same pattern everywhere. From Moses leading his people to the story of Jesus, the idea of the hero seeking something greater is deeply embedded in our collective psyche. Jung believed that myths aren't just entertainment, they're a window into something much bigger. They connect us to our shared human experience, reminding us that across time and culture, we're all telling different versions of the same story. Ever notice how every great story, from ancient myths to Hollywood blockbusters, follows the same kind of journey? That's because of Joseph Campbell.
Building on Carl Jung's ideas, Campbell introduced the concept of the hero's journey in his book The Hero with a Thousand Faces. It's a universal story pattern found in myths, religions, and even today's biggest films. The hero's journey usually goes like this: the call to adventure. The hero is pulled out of their ordinary world. Trials and tribulations. They face challenges, mentors, and enemies. The return. They come back transformed. This pattern is everywhere. Gilgamesh's quest for immortality? That's the hero's journey. Moses leading his people to the promised land? That's the hero's journey. Even stories like The Lord of the Rings follow this timeless structure. But Campbell believed these stories are more than just entertainment. He famously said, "Myths are public dreams, dreams are private myths."
Jung and Campbell's ideas are fascinating, but they're not without criticism. One major critique: their theories sometimes ignore societal and cultural context. Take Jung's archetypes. They sound universal, but they can also reinforce outdated norms. For example, in Jung's time, if a woman wanted independence, some might say she was rejecting the natural archetypes of the mother or nurturer, rather than simply evolving with society. And what about Campbell's hero's journey? While it's a powerful framework, not all cultures define heroism in the same way. Not every story fits this mold, and trying to apply it everywhere can oversimplify the rich diversity of human experiences. So, while these theories give us great insights, it's worth asking, are we shaping myths, or are myths shaping us?